The year is 2014.
For all those haters out there, suck my ass, because you're no good or better than anybody else.
Was that this year?
Yeah.
For all those haters out there, suck my ass.
Remember we went to that Vine party and they played it? They projected it all on the walls.
Oh, there were thousands of videos.
Yeah.
Thousands of Vines all over the wall of, what's her name again?
I don't know.
Oh.
The suck my ass girl from Vine.
She's 6. We forgot to mention that part.
Wow, ended all of us in 6 seconds.
Vine. Taylor Swift, something, 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 see me in court, 1989.
Suing locals all around the globe for selling Shake It Off merch on Etsy. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Literally, you can't even speak her name.
Nope.
I'm getting the PR email already.
If you took my pulse right now, it would feel just like a sledgehammer.
I cannot believe you, of all people, is referencing Fifth Harmony. The #1 dragger of the harmonizers.
I don't drag the harmonizers.
You like 1/5 of them.
I like 1, 2, 3/5 of them. Lauren.
Oh, we're calling them out.
Normani and Dina, Diana, whatever the fuck your fucking name is. Which that's a Jersey Shore quote.
Who are you talking I'm talking to you. Diana, Dina, whatever the fuck your name is.
Of course.
Someone will get it.
Because he's from Jersey.
Yeah. Did you know?
Yeah. Sledgehammer, written by Meghan Trainor, whose album was just delayed indefinitely, just like Britney's career.
Oh, what a great start. Well, we'll see you in 20 years.
Sia came out of the perfume shop and came swinging in from the chandelier with Maddie Ziegler. Chandelier happened this year.
What about Kendall?
Kendall? What you mean? And now Mackenzie's
did you
coming
ever
in.
watch Dance Moms? That would always be so. Like Maddie would always get the solo, and Jill would just come storming in and be like, "What about my daughter? What about Kendall? What about my daughter, Abby?"
I knew there was drama, but I didn't know that specifically. I know JoJo Siwa is on it, who I'm afraid of.
Oh yeah. So anytime someone brings up a Dance Mom girl, I'm always like, "What about Kendall?" We're all gonna have fun. Another iconic quote. Anyway, so. Welcome, everyone, to 2014, where we will be taking you back to Vegas.
We're always in Vegas.
You know, we thought we were going to be going back to Vegas in like a month from now.
Yeah.
Not happening, but that was last episode. So we're going to rewind.
We've calmed down.
Have we?
Not really.
We've got mild haters from that episode.
We got some feedback.
You know what? I said what I said.
You did say what you said.
And you said what you said.
Some say I snapped.
And I stand by it.
Me too. And also, we got a lot more support than we did non-support. Mm-hmm. So we'll go with that.
Yep, Moomoo's at it again.
And don't send us screenshots of people who disagree with us in forums, because I'm not here to see that.
Oh, yeah. I saw a couple people dragging us.
Yeah.
I saw someone call me a twink.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm so flattered.
Sure.
I'm honestly, that is like the biggest compliment ever. Youthful legend. So yes, keep calling me a twink. I love it. But anyway, Vegas, let me hear y'all make some noise, because...
Isn't this theater beautiful? That we're not in anymore.
Oh my God, stop. Hey, I'm T. Kyle.
Hey, I'm Bradley Stern.
This is our new
Britney.
Yeah,
no, that's not going to work.
Hey, I'm T. Kyle.
And I'm Bradley Stern.
And this is It's Britney, Bitch.
A podcast for stans.
By stans.
Dedicated to 20 years of the living legend, Britney Jean Spears.
So
let's take it back to the beginning of Vegas.
Yes. So it is New Year's Eve, 12/31/2013, which is not technically 2014, but whatever strikes at midnight.
Yeah.
So that's where we're starting. We're going to take you back to Vegas, the original Piece of Me show.
Yes. Kyle and I were in attendance for this New Year's Eve celebration.
We were. We flew out. We were in Pit 2, I think it was.
Yes.
Yes. We were in Pit 2.
One of the 17 times we've seen this show.
Yeah.
But this was the first.
It was. And it was quite an eventful trip, which we will get into. But we started the trip with this show. And I remember I was like, I'm not drinking. I'm not doing anything. I need to physically survive seeing this show.
Right.
Before I do anything.
Yeah, we were nervous. We were that Britney concert kind of nervous, where you're like, nothing You can like unwind when you've seen it like 10 times, but like the first time you're like, I need to soak this in.
Yeah.
I need to see where the wigs are placed, where the staging is, where did I get the iconic shot next time.
Right. I was also convinced that this was the last time I was seeing Britney live.
Right. Which we've said in every episode.
Right. But like, at least with Circus Tour, you could travel, tri-state area.
Sure.
Ish.
Yeah.
This was, we were flying across
Right.
the
Yeah.
freaking worlds, basically.
We went abroad.
Yeah. We couldn't just hop downtown where our posse was at. We had to,
Right.
So I was convinced. So I literally was like, I'm not drinking any water before because I don't have to pee in the middle of the show. I'm not drinking any alcohol. I need to sleep. I need to be in line at 7:00.
Yeah.
So I can get a good spot in the pit.
Uh-huh.
It was very serious.
Oh, we lined up super early, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were there. And to be fair, back in the day, the lines for the show would be crazy and would be like outside the venue for a while. And
They'd
people
wrap
would
you around that little bar.
Yeah. That bartender with the mohawk that said "piece of me."
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
right.
Yeah.
Promo.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
That had a bigger budget than Domination. Okay, so we're going to take you through. And the countdown, there was like the countdown, right? It was like 10 minutes, which I was like shaking.
Yeah, there was a countdown. And at the very beginning, which only happened during our first show, there was an announcement. And there was like, the Britney Spears show will begin in 30 minutes.
Oh,
and we were
right.
like, are we at fucking Disney?
Yeah.
What is this shit? They got rid of that, I believe.
I think so. And then it just switched to like the counter.
Yeah, now it's
was
just
on
a
the wall.
countdown. Yeah.
Yeah. So the counter counts down. And it is this
The concept
intro.
of the countdown was basically counting down.
3, 2, it's Beyonce. Anyway. So it starts with this interlude, which I'm going to say it here, was horrible. And the reason why is because it starts out kind of epic with like this little girl with her Michael Jackson hat and she's dancing in her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like music video shots. And then it mixed in fucking femme fatale tour, professional footage of like her walking down the catwalk in I Wanna Go. And I was like,
I blocked that out of my memory entirely.
I didn't.
Oh.
It was like her with the toxic sleeves.
Kimono sleeves.
And then her walking down the catwalk for I Wanna Go or whatever.
Jesus.
And I was like, or Trouble for Me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, like you were epic until that.
Yeah.
Because we, as stans, we let that go.
Yeah. I will also say about that intro, it is basically a blatant ripoff of the Return of the Spice Girls intro.
It's the Walmart version.
It's the Chanel versus Walmart meme.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally the same concept. It's like, here's this little girl who grew up to be a legend.
Oh my God. If you guys want something epic to go watch.
Return of the Spice Girls intro.
Yeah, because that company, unlike other creative directors that we've discussed before, they don't post the stuff they worked on until the tour's over and then they upload it to their portfolio website, which is not difficult to do. Everyone should do that. They did Christina Back to Basics strip tour, you know, that iconic one where she's like in the chair and the fans blowing and it's like,
I feel like half
You
the
don't know that
listeners do not know that one.
you know,
I do know
Madonna.
it. Mm-hmm.
They did Confessions. They did Sticky and
It's
Sweet.
Jamie King, right? Or no?
Yes, and like also there's a
The
production
company.
company that
Yeah.
that he worked for. They also did Return of the Spice Girls. Iconic.
Yes.
Epic.
All epic productions.
Yeah. Didn't get that for this, but it's
Anyway,
fine.
hire T. Kyle. That's what that was. It was an advertisement.
I mean, no.
Yeah. What? Oh, you wouldn't?
Oh, no, I would.
Oh, okay. We get open to the ball.
We do.
The ball is great.
It is. What was your first? So like she's in the ball and then she comes down to the front of the stage and that's where you get like your first. What was your? I know what mine was.
My first reaction.
Yeah, like what was your first feeling?
I mean, when it's happening in the moment, when I'm seeing her, I just sort of like a mind melt, and I'm just gay goo.
Great. Sure, you'll be getting tons of DMs about that.
Yeah, the first thing that came to mind for me was the wig.
Oh yeah, she looked like a drag queen. Like I remember she came forward.
Very prominent.
It was a hard wig line.
Hard wig line.
And she was so tan.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's beat.
Yeah, it was like chiseled. It was very drag queen.
Oh, it was heavy.
Heavy.
I stan.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
Like she looked like a girl from Jersey with a wig.
Yes. Like it was really showgirl. It was
Yeah.
really like, hardened Vegas entertainer.
Right. That was not a faded wig line.
No, it was not cool and faded.
No. Love those jeans.
Love those jeans. But in fact, she's wearing like steel reinforced boot things.
Yeah.
Which is good. And she's in that sparkly, this changes a lot, as we'll talk about over the years, but she's in a sparkly onesie this first time.
Mm-hmm. An homage.
An homage. Yes, it is. This is, as we've talked about, this is kind of what elevated work bitch for us. It,
Oh,
like,
1,000%.
It's so exciting live. It's so hype, and everyone freaks out, does the dance moves, and like her little alien dancers and everything behind her. It's a lot of fun, and she brought it. She always brings it for work.
This is
bitch,
where
I
we
think.
got the sip martini bikini
Yes,
choreo, isn't
very
it?
literal
'Cause
choreo.
that wasn't in the music video.
No. She takes control, and she's
Yeah.
like, let me illustrate what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Or somebody else is saying.
And then also this move where she's like, "You better work, bitch," and she's just like,
Yeah. Yeah. She
you guys couldn't see that, but you know.
she loves a literal move. And I believe this is exactly where we go right into Womanizer.
Yeah,
And we get the light sticks.
we do. And
we
those
did
have
get
been around for a very long time.
They've kept them around for all 6 years. Love the light sticks. And then in later years, we get a much better breakdown, I think, of it. Like at the end.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And remix, reimagined, still iconic.
Yes. A flawless rendition, standing on top of the dancers is so much fun. And then this is where, as the song ends, we get our first live vocal.
Yeah. What's up, Vegas? How y'all feeling?
How y'all feeling? Isn't this theater beautiful?
Yeah, and then she asks us if we can count to 3.
But very seriously asks us.
Yeah.
She goes, I need you to count to 3 with me. 1, 2, and then 3 comes in.
And those rolly carts.
The rolly carts, which were in the background of the domination rehearsals, R.I.P.
Right.
Too soon.
They're literally like, have you ever seen a portable closet rack or coat rack on wheels? It's literally that.
Yeah, and they
Like
just
we had
wheel
them
her
at
around.
work at Watch What Happens, and we used to like roll each other in them and be like, 1, 2. Definitely a couple of the Britney stans and me have done that after a few drinks.
Yeah, it's kind of the
Same budget.
same budget. It's the same as the baggage wheelies in Onyx Hotel, which I used to do when I was on vacation in Florida. I used to jump on the little luggage cart and do the fucking... It was the hookup, right? I don't remember.
I forget.
Yeah. Oh, gay life. So
So that happens.
that happens. That's one wig.
Oh yeah. So we get numerous wigs, and I was going through the set list and I was trying to think of what the theme is of this,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really have one.
Like what this
An overarching.
section is?
The sections make sense, but overarching theme is not
the
really
show.
there.
No, it is legend with hits.
Right. Like it doesn't follow the journey
narrative?
from start to finish.
No,
like
not
this
like
podcast does.
Enigma, where there's an alien that Stephanie Germanotta runs away from or something. I don't know. I'm unclear about that plot point, but
I don't even know what enigma means, to be honest. I don't know that definition. I mean, I didn't even know what adjectives were.
you didn't even know she sang. You thought she rapped or whatever.
Oh, is that? I didn't know if that was a man or a woman.
Oh, God.
That's a Christina Aguilera quote. Fuck off. Don't even come for me. Okay, we can't.
We can't.
We can no longer from this point on shade Lady Gaga.
We can't because she just
Because
outsold our fave in Vegas.
Literally anyone could come back at that, and I'm just like, T. Yeah. So yeah, the acts don't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
But in the second act, we get a very angelic, spiritual, emotional. Doesn't she say something like, "To love"? Or you have to believe in love.
Yeah, it's super
and you have
cheese.
to, yeah, it's like basically saying like you have to surrender to love.
Yeah. This is quintessential knee. This is
This is-
Britney.
Yeah, this is what
She'll-
Britney Jean should have been, was
yeah.
this interlude.
She lives for an angel moment. She lives for In the Sky, lip syncing her signature ballad every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine for the first time you've ever seen it. And then anytime after, you're just kind of watching her suspended in air, like sitting there for a few minutes.
Yeah, I felt like the wings were pretty.
And they're super detailed. I won't give too much information yet because it'll come in 2015. But as Fee gives you the tour backstage, she tells you about all the details that go into it, and it's really impressive. Like,
Yeah.
So the wings up close are like actually very spectacular.
Yeah, I just thought it was strange that she doesn't move.
No.
Like she's just suspended there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it would have been cool if she like came out into the crowd.
Yeah.
Or there was like a flutter of the wing.
Really anything.
You know, like an animatronic.
Any sign of
Like
life.
they could have hired someone from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And made the wings move.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I just thought it was like, okay. And she was really far back.
Yes.
Like she was literally against the back wall.
She was knee against the back wall.
Yeah. Yeah, so you couldn't really get a good look.
No.
But
Pretty
then
also early, like
right, it was like a downer, really quick.
dropping it real quick. And I remember thinking, oh, they'll change that around. They never did.
No.
That's
this was
fine.
not the show for that.
No, it wasn't. They could easily, and they had ditched every time, especially like on tour. They
Right.
ditch it. Anyway, but what happens?
Yeah,
is
so the
this
theme of this
angel-
act, from lightness to darkness. So she lowers to the ground and they cover her up in like those ribbon wand things.
Very Dream Within a Dream, coming out with the mirrors and the creepy dancers like engulfing her situation.
These like wand dancers cover her up and then they reveal the new darkness, Britney, and the wig is off, a new wig is on.
A new wig, which I'm actually quite jealous of ourselves for having seen that wig, because we never
What?
get it again, because we literally got to see that for 5 seconds. Like that wig,
Oh, like we got to see the
like it lasted
we
10
got to
shows.
see the show how it was concepted.
Yes.
Right.
And she almost immediately was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, the effort level really
Yeah.
just went out the window.
Yeah. So we get the intended wig of a short, like dark bob.
Which was fierce.
It really was. And I really think it like went with the mood of that moment, but it's fine that she couldn't do that quick change. I understand.
I also remember we were like covered in those lotus flower.
Yes.
Confetti.
Every time lotus flowers.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like every time lotus flower confettis.
Yeah. Those come down from the sky, and then she turns into the Dark Angel Scorned, and she does Baby One More Time, a little known hit, followed by Oops, I Did It Again.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, 2 deep cuts that she does. And the thing is, we know that she gets bored of doing the classics. You can see it on her face sometimes. So it's cool that we got a something more dark and urban makeover. I think she enjoyed.
I think she was into it.
She liked the flailing move with her arms a lot.
And there were a couple Britney spins.
Yeah, she
Very
loves a spin.
classic Britney spins.
Yeah. So I thought that was a good way of like doing it justice while giving her something to play with, basically.
Right. And then she runs off stage.
And then we get the video interlude, and
Right.
everyone freaks out because nobody really knows what the show is. So Radar comes on, and everyone's like, "Oh my god,
Freaking
Radar!"
out. And this looked really cool
It did.
on the projections. And I will say, this projection inspired our teaser for
It
this
did.
podcast.
I was going to say
where
you stole it.
I was inspired by.
Inspired by.
I was inspired by.
Yeah.
I didn't steal it.
Right. I know. It was an.
I mean, I kind of did.
Yeah. Well.
It was also like very hold it against me video tunnel.
Exactly.
It just is, a common thread, a common visual that I thought would get the girls shaking.
And they did.
Yeah, so that happens. And then they just like wheel the Me Against the Music wood crate carts out.
Yes. They wheel out these homages to the actual Me Against the Music video, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Very literal.
It's very literal, and it's also like when you think of the select iconic items from her videography, it's like I don't know that the wood paneling jumps out as like, oh.
No.
I mean, but they really were hell-bent on making that a thing.
Right.
They wheeled those around the world.
If anything, I feel like she should have done the hat and the tie,
Yeah.
the pantsuit.
Yeah.
Or if she doesn't want to dance, just dance around like a bed.
Yeah, that
Like,
that would
that
work
one
too.
scene with
yeah.
like, and they could have a female dancer dressed as Madonna and they could just like
Right?
flip around.
That would have been good too.
Oh my God, what if they did a wall? They could have put a wall up and done
they
like,
did.
no, like, when they're,
Okay, Trump. your wall fetish.
I meant in the video when they're in the separate bedrooms and there's
Yeah,
the wall.
that's
in
the most
middle.
iconic part of the video, which is crazy that they don't actually they play with it because she does that fun little peekaboo behind the
Right.
wall, but they don't actually recreate it. It would have been nice.
Like if they had the guy dancers on one side and they had
Yeah.
the girl dancers on the other and they battled it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you fucking calling me fucking Trump. Fuck Trump.
Oh, and the best part of it is we get the breakdown of Me Gets the Music. She does a helicopter knee head twirl followed by back bend, which you can get some really good pictures of if you time it just right.
And then like painstakingly gets up and crawls to the edge of the stage to get a water bottle. Do you remember that? Yes. I always remember like that is. I just remember I was like, oh my God, that was so iconic. And then she just like flops up and crawls to the corner and just like grabs a water bottle.
She's thirsty. She was.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly. In that crowd. She puts effort into that one. And then she crawls up and we get into what will later become a meme in 2018. But it is the Blackout medley kicking off with Gimme More. I honestly, like that meme kind of helped make that bit a little more exciting. She kind of just half-asses the it's Britney bitch.
Yeah.
And now that there's like a call out, it's sort of like she has to, everyone's waiting for that. And
It's
like,
kind of like wakes her up a little bit.
it does. And she laughs and giggles. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about how Gimme More never really got its true full justice that it should. It's good. I like it, but it is just blended into a medley.
And don't they change this medley up a little bit?
Yeah, there's like that break the ice breakdown.
And doesn't she also switch break the ice to where like, doesn't she put it where 3 used to be, where she's like, Vegas, how you all feeling? Are you guys ready to break the motherfucking ice?
Yeah.
But it
There is some
started out
switching.
as like a little medley.
A
that
blackout
was-
medley, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I mean,
and urban.
after 6 years of Piece of Me, it's hard to like separate them out.
They blur. They tend to blur. And we've seen every iteration, so it's like...
That's true. We really have.
But at that time, it was Gimme, Break, Piece of Me. Mm-hmm. I have come to appreciate Piece of Me, the song performance, more in later years, because you kind of get that whole, like, the backdrop of the newspapers and all of that, and, like, calling her names and stuff. That's fun. And she kind of improved the choreography by... later years.
The more recent one
Yeah.
is fierce.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
with the
she-
high kick on the stairs. And
Yeah.
She gets more into it, I feel
utilizes the stairwells on the sides, which is good.
I mean, nothing's going to beat Circus Tour.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh, God.
my
In
God.
comparison, it's not even close.
She could have just redone that.
I wish, but it's good.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
What we thought she should have did. We should do that.
We should do Domination, what she should have did.
Domination dreams. Dream within a
Dream within
domination dream.
domination. Domination destroyers.
Wow.
Well, here comes your favorite part.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
But I also live for this moment.
Well, aside from Will.i.am being on the screens,
Right.
this
Ugh.
part visually,
Yes.
I loved.
And
So-
she does too, as she famously said in an interview, I love the look of lasers.
Right. And plenty of lasers are abound.
Yes.
And they turn the whole stage black light.
The coolest thing is like the stage looks cool, but if you turn around in the audience, they're flashing out to the crowd too. And it's like, especially when we did Radio City in later years, oh my God, just the spectacle of it was crazy. And we get those 2 little hamster wheels that come out.
Oh, yeah.
And the boys do their like upside down running on the treadmill things.
Right. I felt like this part, because remember how they were like hyping it up? Like, you know, there's this one section of the show where everyone really feels like they're a part of it.
Yeah.
And like the whole time I'm like, okay, when does that happen?
I think that
like,
might have been this.
This, I felt like made the theater feel more like a club.
Oh, totally.
And it felt more immersive because
Yeah.
the lights were like dark and
It is completely a club for that dancer breakdown.
Yeah.
Is crazy. Yeah. That's one of the most fun. It really is one of the most fun parts, minus the large Will.i.am head
right.
in the middle.
And her staying backstage until like the last line of it.
It would be the best part of the show. Like, she was great. She wasn't on stage, but
Right. She finally comes out to do like 2 lines.
2 lines of it.
Scream and shout.
Yeah. But she does come out in her, what would you call it? Like a fluorescent neon
Yeah, it was kind of ugly.
glow.
It was.
I know, but I'm like fluorescent, ugly.
And I mean, I love a fluorescent light. I love
we do.
I love a black light. I love something that
well,
glows. Know why? Because it makes your teeth really white.
And it exposes your sheets.
Well,
Well,
that sounds like a
some of us.
personal problem. But like, if you go out in a club where there's black lights, I mean, is that weird of me? I'm like, oh my God, wow, your teeth are so white. Hot.
Yeah, I think that's weird. That sounds like a personal problem. But I do think it looks cool. Yes, that outfit is not the best, but I think she does switch it up to me less offensive in later years.
No, it gets more offensive with that pink puff suit.
Yeah.
So it does get worse, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's
but
fine.
then it gets like
it's a visual look.
it is a visual look. But then we get into like the Missy Elliott look. Isn't that different or better? Or maybe it's worse.
She goes puff for a hot second, and then she goes bikinis.
Right. It's like purely bikinis by the end.
Right.
Yeah. In any case, it's a glow in the dark moment of.
I remember her glowing, like, because she was
Yes.
so tan and
Yeah.
had so much makeup on. It was like her lipstick was glowing and her eyeshadow was glowing, and the wig was glowing.
The wig was levitating. Yeah.
Yeah, everything was just kind of like this illusion.
It was an illusion.
Uh,
I thought you were going to
Cut it
say
off.
that.
No, I would never. I don't know that song.
So anyway, back to the Joanne Ball. Boys. Okay, yeah, right into Boys. Love this remix of it. It almost sounds like it's mixing in that gas pedal song. It's like after the chorus hits. I don't even know. She's
Well, they also blended it really well from Scream and Shout out into Boys.
oh yeah, it's
they,
seamless.
They seamlessly took the beat out.
You know, William Orbit could learn a thing or two about that flawless transition.
Oh.
Yeah, Boys is a lot of fun, and that's one of the ones that we see teased in the documentary where she's like putting her hand out and all the boys like fall over, they bend over, whatever.
She just kind of does a lot of handography in this one.
Yeah.
But like it looked cool.
Yeah. I mean, the first iteration of the show is heavily handography. It becomes Zumba by 2018, like full on Zumba.
It's true.
Like full on self choreographed in my gym Zumba class.
But like actually though.
Yeah, like actually.
Instagram choreography.
Later on,
live.
actual choreography gets used from Instagram. Anyway, at this point though, performance-wise, we are well above Femme Fatale Tour, but we are not yet at the 15 onward epiphany that happens. We're at this like middle ground, which is like, oh, she's doing this. It's just like she's a little stiff and getting used to this new, the desert air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it
dry
affects
out there.
people. It's dry. Some would say that, you know, it affects your alcohol intake even. Like it's like
Your vocals.
Your vocals. So what we get, which I don't think we ever got after because it disappeared so fast, is her slowing it down right now for her latest single. She sits on the steps with a hand mic and sings Perfume.
Did you say sings?
She is there for the playing of Perfume.
She sits on stage during the playback of Perfume.
Now, there's one night that a
where
lot
they
of
accidentally
fans,
played Sia vocals,
yeah.
which I don't understand.
Is that really?
Yes.
Okay.
There was an Instagram video where you hear it.
I didn't know if like a fan made it or if that really happened.
It sounded a little too, I mean, unless they really had a good editing, but it sounded like it was
I guess it's possible. I mean, I'm gonna say yes because fans will yell at me if I doubt this magical moment. But
yeah, it felt like a last minute like addition. Like, oh, okay, just in here,
because we have
stand
to
there.
promote the new single,
Right?
And we have to pretend that we're promoting this album that
Right.
she's not fully aware she released. And
That's true. Well, you know, there was someone there this evening who probably could have given Team Britney a little bit of creative advice because we weren't just experiencing a show on stage.
We
at this
were not.
moment.
This
we
is
got
so special to us.
So we're in the pit, and I was like fixated forward on Britney, and all of a sudden, I just remember smelling fantasy.
Yeah.
Like it was an overwhelming stench of fantasy, not like someone was spraying it in my nose.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow,
Me?
those fog machines are really strong. Like I really thought they were pumping fantasy into the air with these fog machines.
Great promo.
Until I turn to my left and see a queen crying and sobbing in a circus top hat, screaming, "Britney, oh my God, Britney." holding 2 fantasy
bottles. Yep.
Just spraying them and spritzing them. And that's what...
Sobbing.
Yeah, sobbing.
Yeah.
And it looked like a fog machine.
Really tall, if I recall correctly.
Very tall, very skinny.
And
like sobbing
legend,
and
crying.
It was so funny because what was happening on stage was
not it.
So this was funny, and then I got pissed. After 30 seconds, I was like, "You need to shut the fuck up."
Yeah, then it
Stop
became not
falling
funny.
on me.
Yeah, because then it was messy.
Yeah, it was falling on everyone. But luckily, I feel like everyone around us was like, "Shut the
not
fuck up."
today,
and move
bitch.
back. Yeah,
as we've discussed, Britney concert etiquette. Like, you can get excited, but don't fucking knock into me.
Yeah, get your hands off
your
of me,
hands
bitch.
off of me.
As Kim Zolciak would scream. But yeah, I mean, that's a creative concept.
That really was. And honestly, they should have pumped it into the airstream.
By prerogative now.
Exactly. They did do that. They handed out those wristbands when we went to Radio City. But,
that's true.
Yeah, there was a perfect opportunity to promote perfume that, went overlooked. But thankfully, we got it in the pit.
Oh, we sure did.
So we left reeking of fantasy.
Everybody had some.
Everybody had one.
Wow. So then it switches into the next act.
Yes.
And this is, I think, probably my favorite interlude of the show.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
I mean, there was people on stage for it. Unlike the other ones, were just projections.
Video interludes.
This one had the dancers giving us
sexy.
I remember they were crawling on the edge of the stages. It was just, I loved it. It was a good mix, and it was dark.
Definitely. I'm trying to remember, somebody comes out and grabs their crotch. Maybe it's Jay Fuse, maybe. Somebody's really being aggressive with the audience.
Yeah, it's the remember when we were in Atlantic City, I asked him to teach me the choreo, and he was like, "I'm not in that number."
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Which I'll tell you that story.
Yeah,
that
we'll
was
get there.
so embarrassing. I can't believe I did that.
Actually, I'm
no,
glad
that
you
was,
did that.
That was
Please,
kind of
that
iconic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we're how many episodes in? Nothing's embarrassing to me anymore. I don't give a shit.
Exactly. And there's still more to come anyway.
Yeah. Well, speaking of embarrassing, we're gonna expose Mew-Mews in this episode. So Get Naked happens, and then they wheel out what is essentially a seashell with a fountain in it and wheels on the bottom. Right?
Gaga's Enigma robot is shaking.
Yeah. They just take a
clam.
It was, though.
It's a giant clam from the casino. Somebody won it in a bucket.
Yeah.
They brought it out, stuck a pole in it.
Yeah, they stuck a pole in it and some water. Oh my God. It was a giant clam, and she's on a pole. It really was a fucking gigantic clam. Who thought that was sexy? Somebody lied to her and told her that she was sexy, fly, and beautiful, and she was nothing of the sort. The fucking clam.
That was probably her complete creative concept.
Right.
I'm sure. That was So we get Slave. I hear T behind the scenes that, at least in the beginning of rehearsing, she's not so hot on Slave. And my impression is that she's just bored with doing the same routine she's done since 2001.
Yeah, you could tell.
You can tell. There are some nights where she kills it and some nights where she's literally counting the steps in her head, so bored and over it. I think they try to give her something cool by giving it a stripper vibe. And she does kind of really feel herself by the end of it. The end of the run of Piece of Me. Feel like she really likes her yoga pole dancing moment.
Yeah. I think, she got super fit as the show went on. So it was you could tell
Snatch Knee was ready for the pole dance.
The pole was she was ready to show it off in her bikinis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell she was
and I feel
night number 2 doing Slave for You, and she's over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because we kind of don't let her switch up Slave that much. She has to do the fucking
right.
Moves.
Everyone wants the original
choreo. So she's just giving us what we want. And then we move into Freak Show. And for our night, Freak Show, by the way, as she has said in interviews, is her favorite performance of the show.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
She gets to walk around and embarrass someone. And for our show, it was her then boyfriend.
Right.
David. And I love how we were talking about David when he's introduced, and we're I think he looked big when we literally were in person seeing him, and I forgot that part.
Yeah. Well, because he was so...
I have no thoughts of him.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's big.
Hope hope it was a fun ride.
Oh,
David gets to be freak show bitch. He calls himself the Big D, I think, when she asks her name. What's your name, sweetie? And he says the D. I think the D.
yeah. And we were like, oh my God.
We don't care for him. Dead to us.
Next.
Yeah, so freak show does not change at all also during this whole...
No. It is the same for 47 years.
Yeah. Despite that, I forget everything when I'm eventually the freak show victim, as we'll get into in 2015. But I was a good sport, but I literally, all knowledge of it just went out the window.
Like you blacked out?
I totally blacked out, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the only time. More on that later.
See you soon. And then we get into Do Something.
Which had me in, like, I was anxious the entire time that she was doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I remember physically being like, oh my God, she's going to fall. One of those chairs is going to slip on the stage and she's going to fall off the chair.
It still is very...
It's so anxiety inducing for me.
Yeah.
You would think the tree would be.
Yeah, but that's like one very controlled movement. This is like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Do Something
when
is
they
like...
stack the chairs, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving in heels across chairs and boxes and whatever that are like rapidly moving on stage.
Yeah. This is also the year post physical trauma for me. So everything
which one?
made me anxious, smashing my head.
Yes, that one.
Which anything involving heights or standing on things just sent me into full panic attack. This performance being one of them.
Well, she survived.
She did.
She survived.
She survived the chairs.
And then we move into, actually, I think my least favorite act.
Had the potential
To
be cool and really fell flat.
Yeah.
No, it didn't fall flat though. The wig.
Right. That's true. We get a recreation of the video wig, basically, right? It's a curly.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Walmart. It's not as good.
It's like white girl on Halloween dressing as Britney.
Yeah.
Circus. I'm sorry to every white girl that I offended by saying that, but you know it's true.
The pictures right now.
Tag us, Halloween.
Tag us your circus look from Halloween. But yeah, I will say I kind of thought the concept of the outfit was cool with I don't even know what that was, like film strips around her boobs.
Yeah, and sort of like circus tent.
Yeah.
Umbrellas. The costumes for the dancers were really good at this part.
Yes. I thought it was like ornate.
It felt like the budget was there and then it just got like cut off.
Yeah.
Because the dancers had really cool outfits.
Yes, they like fully were circus performers, which was great.
The concept for the video circus is basically about, a circus.
She doesn't that feels fully phoned in. She looks like she's just counting the steps.
Yeah.
And then she pisses me off every time. It comes to the break and she just fucking walks to the back of the stage and forward. She never...
It's like, all eyes on me with the arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm running this and she's just literally running away. It's just like...
I liked the fire ring, though.
I like the fire ring. It's great, obviously. It's just, I think the only time she's had a really good circus live besides GMA is the actual tour, the circus tour.
Yeah.
Kind of unbeatable, but...
This was also where we got the mirror trick that got scrapped
it gets
so fast.
So fast. And half of the mirrors stop working by week 2, basically.
They have these mirrors, but they're not mirrors, they're screens. And they filmed Britney doing dances that played on these screens, so they were supposed to look like mirrors.
Yeah.
Very Dream Within a Dream.
Yeah.
Lonely,
fighting against herself.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem here is that Britney, despite the screen of herself being in front of her, is still one count behind the projection screen.
And really, that's just a rule in general. Like, she's always a beat behind, like, pretty much always in Vegas.
Right. Like, the screen would go down, and then she would, like, be in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And it was, like, the second night.
It's like, it's right there.
Right.
That's you. Do that.
Yeah. And I just remember being like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it had the potential to be cool. So eventually they just shut the screens off.
They did. They got rid of the screens eventually.
Yeah. But didn't she stop wearing the wig at some point? So she would go to do the mirror trick and she'd be in front of the quote unquote mirror and in the short wig, but she'd be wearing long hair.
Yeah. Then she wouldn't even look like herself.
The continuity was not there anymore.
It was not. And by the way, this isn't for Circus though. This is for I Want to Go. We're like,
see, I couldn't even remember what song it was because I was so focused on the fact that she was a beat off.
Yeah.
And oh wow.
Yeah, she follows herself around going all the way, and it gets scrapped, as does the song eventually.
Which, is fine.
That's fine until you get a good concept live. I mean,
'cause
as
they
much as
replaced it
we
with
love
Breathe on Me, which was like,
oh, exactly.
Like, hi.
The Raise the Roof move of Femme Fatale Tour has stuck with me forever. Because
I love that we can now do it and people know what we're doing.
Completely. Give it up for them. Aren't they amazing dancers?
Yeah.
Is like,
so if you ever see me in public and I Want to Go starts playing, you will just see me standing there raising the roof.
Minimal energy. That's
Femme Fatale Tour.
Femme Fatale Tour.
Yeah, it will forever be cemented.
And then I don't think we were witness to this, but it happened. Well, I guess maybe we were. For Lucky.
Yep.
We were there.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
were you?
As you'll later find out, I might not have been entirely. Honestly, a lot of this was a blur.
This trip was a blur for Brad.
Which is shocking, really. You'd think it'd be Kyle. But in fact... In fact, we had a Freaky Friday role reversal where
did.
I had a moment.
Right, like I was the completely sober one, but anyway.
A scary thought.
So
we get Lucky for literally 5 seconds. Another one which really could have, because it's so beloved, could have been blown out. It was kind of goofy looking.
The concept for the circus was not a circus. Like it, it wasn't. Because I think about when she did Lucky in Dream Within a Dream and how she did like the music box and Born to Make You Happy, which is very self-referencing. Like, it was Born to Make You Happy. She's a performer. She's a ballerina. She comes out and then it's like, oh my God, she's a star. And they put the robe on her and it's glamorous. And she's like, and they say, like, there's a concept. This was just like, okay, so what's another slow one that we could do? Oh yeah, press play and go sit over there.
Sit on that. Yeah. That is the concept of Lucky. And it's kind of surreal and weird to see her do it just kind of there like
right,
that.
like it needs something.
It needs a
to go with
concept.
it.
Literally, that is a high concept song. You need to illustrate it. You need to be lucky.
Right. Or like at least have someone play Roger Johnson from Pop News.
Yeah. Or give you the fucking mirror. Hold the mirror. Something.
Oh yeah.
Larry.
Like a mirror that doesn't have 2 beat ahead
replica of herself.
In a wig.
Yeah. And
then we get into the finale.
We take it to the jungle.
Which is the best part of the show. I think overall as an act.
Yeah, I mean, I think
elevates
probably
it.
I think it does. It gets the excitement higher.
Yeah. And I loved this interlude going into the jungle because we were in the pit, and so we didn't really get to fully see it from where we were. But
but further back,
if you like watching videos of it, obviously, which I've done, they project like these insane visuals of
full
like
jungle vines and stuff.
It looks so cool.
It
from
really
afar.
does. Yeah, that's the thing is like really, if you got any seat at the show, you did get quite a spectacle. Like they made it. Props to them. Full surround sound and surround visuals that were very, very stimulating. It was very
they lit
good.
the whole place up.
Yeah. So we get a intriguing plucking noise of a familiar sound, local favorite, Toxic.
Well, before that is when Willie came out.
Oh, that is
in the
Willie
cheetah.
Moment. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
My God, rage.
Kyle immediately fell to his knees. Yeah. See, I've always been a J stan, J Fuse. I literally. Anyway, that'll be one episode. It's just who we stand of the dancers.
Right. So they come out and they have this sort of like grunting, like cheetah moment, and then it quiets down.
Yeah.
And it's like the subtle, like. Dun, dun, dun.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling? A guy like you should wear a warning. It's dangerous, I'm falling.
And you look up, and there's a giant tree from the Amazon, and a legend perched.
Quite fearlessly.
Yeah.
Standing
It's
on a branch.
so high up.
It's so high up. and she is very daintily like tiptoeing across the branch to the tip end of it, doing a very cool light version of Toxic.
Right.
They made it very dramatic, and then she gets to the end and the music breaks into this like electric moment.
Back to what, because we've dragged Toxic quite a bit.
Yes, we have.
But then there was one episode where we were like, we like when it gets remixed and repurposed in a way that's new and different. Not like a Glee or like a local
Never that.
singing it. This was like an elevated,
It really is.
quality, professional.
And you hear that Toxic, and then she like pushes out and everyone freaks out, and the waterfalls say Toxic. Like the way that the water comes down spells it out, which is crazy.
And I just remember her being so effing high up. That feeling, like the pit in my stomach dropped when she jumped.
Yeah, and she just swings on through to the crowd and back. And she lands very gracefully. Then it breaks into standard version of Toxic.
Yeah. And she really goes off for this part.
She goes off. And she honestly serves like some of her most hard-hitting choreography here.
Energetic.
She gets thrown in the air. Every stand like points to this as like the most vigorous part of the show when she drops to the ground and thrashes.
And then this, when she like snaps out.
Yeah, snap. Yeah, she feels all of the oats during Toxic.
And this part got a really good wig.
Yes,
This
had
was
to
the
be
most
secure.
Yeah, it was a secure wig, and it was the most natural looking wig, I felt like. But, just side note there.
Well, yes. And I think that they knew that they had to amp up Toxic, as it is such a renowned favorite among all. They really did deliver with Toxic in such a big way. And so she's back on ground. She finishes that off. Then we go right into, I think, my favorite mix of the whole show because of the way that it's done. Like the segue of Stronger into Crazy.
Agreed.
Now you're getting into pure nostalgia. Everyone's drunk in the crowd, so like only fan favorites and like things people know. Everyone's screaming along, and like Crazy is such a surprise to people because they're like, oh my god, I love this song.
Yeah. I felt like this was the way they did it was really good because it was appealing to the casual fan that knew the hits.
Yes.
It was appealing to locals.
Yes.
And it was also appealing to hardcore stans who wanted something that felt, to me, this felt like an updated modern version of the hits.
Yeah.
That
for
wasn't
sure.
cheap and
There's
wasn't
that
tacky.
Actual something more urban mix between Stronger and Crazy. That's
right.
like, yeah. I loved that little mix. So
yeah, I also have to confess that I started crying during Stronger.
Oh.
Because I was like, oh my god, she's retiring. This is the last time I'm seeing her, and she really is stronger than yesterday.
Wow.
She was literally doing that hand move, where she's like,
no, but I do remember I kept gripping my chest to make sure that, because my heart was going so fast, I was like, calm down, calm down. So I was having a heart attack. You were crying.
Oh, I was crying.
This perfume boy was perfuming.
Yeah.
Everyone was shaking. No, my heart was going so fast just because I felt like I was trying to take it all in and like also record everything and the blur of it all.
This, I wish they would release this Crazy mix.
Me too.
It's like, man, so into you.
Baby, I'm so into you. You got that something. What can I do? Oh, baby, you spin me around. I'll dig up his music, but I can't feel the ground.
It is a something more urban moment.
So good.
Love that mix. Love that look. And Miley, there's a video of Miley, because Miley's one of the first celebrity attendees, I feel like, or like one of the
them.
closer.
Yeah.
And she goes off to this mix.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Yeah, then she does Stop, which is perfect. And she does her little speech. But for us, we got an extra sentence because it was New Year's. Happy New Year. And then we, of course, end off Until the World Ends, which is really a great show closer. How about one more?
Right. You
fucking
guys ready for one
assholes.
more? Oh my god, wait, that's the part where she said fucking assholes?
Yeah. So
that was like 15 maybe?
If you were along for the ride for the whole journey with Britney, you know that she feeds off of crowd participation and energy. And if she is having a bad night in the audience, she will make it clear in her performance level and sometimes even vocally, because in one of the nights, the crowd was really drunk and just not giving her what she needed. So she's like, ready for one more?
Yeah.
To like silence or something. She turns around. People claim she sees people in the VIP she doesn't like. I believe she's shading the audience for sure.
Or someone, I also read that there were guys in the front
Okay.
that were screaming stuff at her.
Maybe.
Like heckling her.
So she is out there and says the one more, and there's lukewarm response. And she turns around and says, fucking assholes.
Fucking asshole.
And it's so loud. It echoes.
We'll play the audio. It's great.
Fucking assholes.
Thus continuing the Britney legacy of didn't know my mic was on.
Oh, no, she knew it was on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
From I thought they were going to fucking vamp to my pussy's hanging out to fucking assholes. Outburst knee jumps out.
Oh my God.
And Till the World Ends is fantastic. And also there's an explosion of confetti. And also chips. And we still have like chips from it, of the like little fake Britney chips that are like still all over my apartment. And yeah, and she is joyous and jumping around with the dancers, and they're all hugging and doing really goofy moves with each other. And that's the Piece of Me experience.
That's Vegas. Wasn't that theater beautiful?
Wasn't that amazing? Give it up for her.
But that was not the end of our night.
No, but it was the end of my memory.
Yeah.
People can take everything away from you.
But they can never take away your truth.
But the question is,
have you subscribed? You can subscribe to It's Britney Bitch here on Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on Spotify. And where can you find us on social media? Where can they find you, Brad?
oh, if you want to follow me at Mumuse, MUUMUSE on all social platforms.
Lucky. I wish mine was all consistent. You can follow
It's
me
not.
on Twitter at TKyleMac or Instagram T.Kyle or YouTube TKyleM. She was not consistent.
And what's the OnlyFans?
So we leave the venue, and this is where I met Trisha Paytas for the first time.
This is.
It is.
I do remember this.
Oops, I Did It Again catsuit. She's got the Oops hair, iconic.
Queen.
I think I told this story before in a previous episode. But
Right.
yeah, we're like outside and I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan of yours. I just love your videos. And she's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you.
I'm like taking BTS footage of this whole meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
that was
truly a
iconic.
dream within a dream.
Yeah, it was. And so that happened. And then, okay, so it's New Year's Eve. And I, at this point, was not drinking, which it literally is like role reversal.
Yeah.
For you
this
and I.
literally is.
Because normally I'm the drunk mess.
Yeah.
But I was still, this is like the period of my life where I was like anxious about everything.
True. You were shook from the incident.
I was shook from my head incident, so I didn't like the feeling of being drunk.
Yeah.
So we go outside and it's like the dancers are rushing out to go see the fireworks. And I thought New York was bad. This was worse.
Literal zombie apocalypse.
Right. Like imagine
The
being
Strip.
stuck in a mall.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, we were stuck in a mall.
We were stuck in a mall.
Shoulder to shoulder, foot to foot, arm to face. Like,
Tit to tit.
yeah. Like I felt at one point I was levitating because the crowd was so
That's
thick.
right. It was pushing us along.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I just let it go. And
To love you, to get out of the strip, you have
then
to
there was
let
that
go.
woman that was having a panic attack. She's like screaming.
Yeah. It was me. Yeah.
She was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm like, oh my God, me
Look,
neither.
I know,
I'm
we saw
shaking. I just
Britney.
met Trisha Paytas. Queen of pop.
I would say, yeah, neither of us were on any kind of level at that point. We were like
No.
stone cold sober and trying to get out because it was really not scary, but like
It was
a lot.
A lot. So we see like 2 fireworks go off, and then we meet up with these gays. And do you remember we took a limo?
Okay, this is where I don't know exactly what happened. I blame the altitude because I don't.
Do you remember any of this at all?
It comes in and out. So
Okay.
what I do remember,
I remember like it was yesterday.
yes, I remember getting to the weird house,
Okay.
but I don't know why I don't remember before that.
Okay, because there was a lot going on.
Okay.
So we went and met these gays, and it was a group, and then we all get in a limo, and this limo takes us to what we thought was a party, but it was literally like we were in the Flavor of Love house.
It was like a mansion.
A mansion that you would see on like The Bachelor, Flavor of Love,
Yeah.
Rock of Love. Like it was this huge, gigantic house.
Yeah.
No one was in it. Do you remember that?
It was completely empty. I have a photo of me on a pole, which
Yes.
like is like my go-to in times of worry is just to attach to a pole.
Right.
But I
There
don't
were
remember.
smoke machines, and there were lights, and there were lasers, and there were bartenders.
Yes.
And it was like fully staffed. Like there was security outside.
But
No one
was in, and they were
the house.
and they were making a big deal about the door. I remember there
Yeah.
was because Vegas in general is not our. Kyle and I are not that kind of people. We don't care about bottle service VIP shit.
No.
We want to walk into a bar for free and
I'm like, give me a Miller Lite and a chair.
like literally absolutely not. So that whole culture is bullshit and we hate it.
Yeah. No, but we
like-
went along with it.
But we were like, okay.
We're like, okay, work. I'm here.
Okay.
When in Vegas.
Who were we with when we went to the mansion? I don't remember.
Wasn't it Jordan?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we meet up with
Jordan from Breathe Heavy.
Jordan from Breathe Heavy.
Yeah.
Who, well, there's a long history there, but we met up there, I think, for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
For the first time ever. He was doing his best to like get us into clubs and stuff, but I remember there were a lot of futile efforts, if I
Yeah.
recall.
I'll take all you girls through the whole thing because I was stone cold sober the entire time. So
Yeah.
we get taken all the way out to this mansion.
Yeah.
And I remember I pulled up Google Maps on my phone and we were like in the middle of nowhere. Like
Okay.
it was, like
Yes,
nothing.
that I remember.
And I immediately was like, this feels alarming to me. And so,
Why did I do that? Well, all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, of
When in
course.
Vegas.
I mean, I'm down for like literally anything. Like,
Yeah, so
you
we-
know me. I love a crazy moment.
We got into a car and just,
Yeah. So then we
Went.
came back.
Yeah.
Closer to the strip. And we go to this other bar that's called Share, I believe.
yes. And this is where my memory officially ends.
Yeah, this is where you're out. So,
I only know because of what I've been told I did.
right. Now, I don't know if it was this night or the following, because we went out a couple times.
And I blacked out each time.
And you blacked out every single time.
Yes.
So it was either this night or the following night. But Pheromone,
And I do remember there was a drag queen.
Pheromone,
There's like a pink entity in my brain.
you have a fuzzy blonde pink entity. Yes.
So we saw Christina.
Of drag. Yeah. We saw Chris. You honestly probably thought it was.
I probably was like, I
Because-
cannot believe we're at Bionic Tour.
Yeah, so it was Pheromone, and she performed a song from Burlesque.
Did she really?
Yeah,
I
you
literally
probably
don't know.
thought you were seeing
I'm
Christina Aguilera.
probably so happy.
Yeah,
In my head.
you were very happy.
Okay. All right.
So while performing, Pheromone's entire ball sack fell out.
This I
through
only
her
know from you
leotard,
telling me.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, like I love a tit. Like if something falls out, like I live. So
Yeah.
that's where things get crazy. And thank God I was sober because we go to leave and there is not a way to get home. All the cabs are not picking anyone up. Uber's down. Like literally it's a gay panic outside. Like everyone is freaking the fuck out because no cars will come to this bar.
If I remember correctly, I attempted to and maybe yelled at people.
You were not having it at all. You were very much like, why can't we get a car?
Okay.
And I'm like, I was internally panicking, but I'm like, I got this. It's fine.
Right.
So my dumbass pulls up Google Maps and is like, oh, you know what? Actually, that's not a far walk. We live in New York. We got this. So I just start walking right. So it's me and you.
Yeah. In the desert.
Basically the desert.
Yeah.
Kind of horrifying now that I think about it.
Oh, extremely.
And I'm like walking and I'm like, oh, this is a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And so then I see the Rio. I remember seeing the Rio and I'm like, we're going to go to the Rio and we're going to call a car from the Rio. We can make it there. You are out of it. You're just like, wow, this is really far. Like, where's the hotel? And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get killed in the middle of Vegas. It's all my fault.
Holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no memory of this stroll.
Well, it's good because we started getting like eyed down by like truckers that were like parked on the side of this. It was,
Oh,
yeah, I'm confessing it now to you. So we're walking, and all of a
Coyotes.
sudden, this woman in a minivan cab sees us. And like she's like wide-eyed, like she looks like, oh my God, I gotta get them. And she like comes up and she's like, what are you boys doing all the way out here? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, can we have a ride? And she's like, get in. And she kind of freaked me out a little bit because it made me feel like we were actually getting saved from something that would have been a
Meanwhile, I'm
problem.
like, hey.
You're like, can we go to you were like, I'm really hungry. I was like, okay, there's a Subway by our hotel. Oh my God. So she takes us back to our hotel and it was so far away. And I remember I was like getting emotional because at this point I'm like, I didn't want you to see that I was free. I was like, oh my God, I really, we were like,
I was
in
having a
danger
great
realm.
time.
Yeah. And
I wonder who it was.
she
who
took us
saved
to Subway and then took us back to the hotel. She was so sweet.
She took us to Subway and then the hotel?
Because she like was very adamant that we got home safe. Like,
Are
she
you
was
serious?
She was very much like, I'm gonna make sure you boys get home safe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
So
it was a two-stop
Whoever that
situation.
was, it was New Year's Eve, 2013.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Glenn Close or...
You saved us near the Rio and took us to Subway, and
I don't even remember you, but you are my hero.
yeah. Oh man. So then
It's so
the
crazy
next
that I don't
night-
drink. All right, yep.
Yeah. So then the next night we go out to a gay club, and this is where we had the VIP list. And we went up to the second floor. It was like piranha, something with a fish.
Piranha.
Yeah.
And AAA girls were performing. Alaska,
Yes.
Willem. Oh, this is bad. Alaska.
I thought it was
Well, we were excited they were
was
there.
great.
Yeah.
we were on the second floor.
We were watching it from the second floor.
So this is where I'm going to expose Brad for a quick second here.
I don't even know what's coming.
I personally believe that you had a huge crush on Jordan.
Wow. Why? What did I do?
You were kind of thirsty,
Oh.
which is fine. And
I mean, it's very possible
I mean, it
that
would've
I've
been-
done.
it would have been such a cute couple
Yeah, two short, angry tops.
who love music.
Well, I guess we'll address this maybe in the Q&A or something because people did ask about how
you
we...
and Jordan.
Yeah.
You were just thirsty.
Okay, but that's like...
Like, you were crushing on him. I was all for it. I was like, this happening over here. I'm
it
into
may
it.
have... That may have crossed my mind that I didn't want to cross the line.
It's like two little twunks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the thing is, so we had been talking for years before that, like on Skype.
Oh.
Yeah. Like we even did like a Mew Mews, a Moo Moos, and Breathe Heavy 5 singles that never were thing where we cross collaborated on our sites. And
You're Pretty Girls.
We did
moment.
a Pretty Girls moment where we did like the singles that never were on each other's sites. I would see him here, and then we saw him there, obviously. So there was like, I don't know.
Would you say he's the one that got away?
No. What are you talking about?
Hey, it's me, Katie. That's one of her songs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy. Yeah.
You know what? It happens. Sometimes you have a crush on someone.
I guess it took you exposing that because I feel like I was trying to be. It was also like Britney blogger boys, and I wanted to like have that be a thing of like us. I don't know what I'm saying.
You had a vision.
I had a
of
vision
love.
of. Oh my god. Maybe I don't know. No.
Wouldn't be the first fan you slept with. I only say this because I'm a flop. Like, I don't get any, so whatever. It is what it is. It's fine.
That was then. This is now.
That was her. This is me. This is me. I fucked that up. Like, anyway, so I remember you were like, we have to go upstairs to where the VIP is because that's where her dancers are. And I'm like, okay. So we go up to that second floor. Where it was like the little thin, narrow, you like had to hold onto the railing to, it was like an open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Britney's dancers were up there,
Yes, I do remember that.
which was cool for me for about 2 seconds. And then I had a full blown panic attack. Do you remember when I left?
Nope.
No. Yeah. I hid literally everything from you. I feel like
This is
we
wow.
almost
This is therapy.
We were in danger.
Yeah.
That was my fault. I had a full-blown panic attack at Piranha. and
I know that
was
I
consoled by
tried-
drag queens.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You were totally blacked out.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I the next day they told me that I do remember our sit down brunch or breakfast, whatever, the next day after it, when they like informed me that I either made out with or tried to make out with one of Jordan's friends.
Oh, you got
Made out.
called out like at the brunch
At the
table.
brunch.
Like, oh, remember when you tried making out with me in the bathroom stall and you were like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what happened there? What did he do?
I still question the validity of that statement, for the record, because I wouldn't say that.
I was here for it. I was like, oh, drama at brunch.
I
Love
know
it.
you were there for it, but I mean, like the
How are
likeliness.
you? You know what? I mean, we've all had our moments.
We've had some moments in Vegas.
Gays are always at it, so
That's true too.
who cares? Life is short. You could get hit by a car tomorrow, so
I
fuck it.
probably
If you want
will.
to suck a dick, go suck a dick.
Worldly wisdom from T. Kyle.
Worldly wisdom. Life is short.
Suck a dick.
Suck a dick. And buy Glory on iTunes.
By glory.
Okay. Anyway, so we're there, and then I have a full panic attack because at this point, I'm scared of heights. And so when we went to the second floor, I was like death gripping.
Oh,
the,
I remember the
death
view.
gripping? Yeah.
Yes.
And I did not let go of that railing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I go downstairs. I have a panic attack. But anyway, I forget the blizzard happens and we get stuck there for extra days.
So there's a blizzard. First of all, before we get to that, as the blizzard's happening, coincidentally, this is tying in with pop culture because Gaga and Christina perform Do What You Want duet on The Voice. And I have a fucking
yeah.
video of you bursting through the closet doors doing Christina's scream voice. And they do the duet
Oh, that's right.
while we're stuck in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing to that except iconic.
Yeah, it was iconic.
Yeah. That was just,
And that was like New Year's Day or something.
yeah, because we were stuck for literally
Oh my God, we
17,000
were there
days.
for a while. Yeah, so I remember I just had a panic attack because this railing. We went up to the balcony and I felt the floor vibrating.
I'm a very
and I was like,
observant friend.
I was like, I gotta go downstairs for a minute. I have to go to the bathroom. Panic attack.
Okay.
Really fun year.
I'm super observant.
Full of gay anxiety.
Yeah. Well, there
Still
you go.
am. So there was one of the other nights that you went back out.
So one of the nights, this is crazy to me and honestly scary, but it's fine, clearly.
Yeah.
I go back out with Jordan and his friends. And I have like pictures of that night that I can remember of him and I playing pool. And I literally remember sitting down next to him in a booth at that bar. And then you waking me up is the next memory I have. I have
In New York or
it. I
Yeah,
don't know what fucking happened to me.
we were like, I remember I was like, we have to get to the airport by like 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, fine, I'll be back later. So I'm like, I pass out, you get home, and I get up.
Who knows how?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I just remember trying to wake you up.
He
and
definitely
you were
like made sure I got home.
you were like, uh-huh. And I was like, no, like you have to get up right now. Like we have to go to the airport. And you're like, yeah. And I'm impersonating you right now. You guys can't see it at home, but basically Brad just looked at me with this like clueless smile and just did not move.
Oh my!
And then I started shaking you. I was like, no, Brad, like stand. I was like, we got to pack. We got to go. We got to get on a plane. Like our flight is now. And you're like, yeah.
I was serving femme fatale.
Yeah. So I eventually just like pulled you out of bed, started packing your stuff. You started moving. We get to the plane. And I just remember turning around to look at you and you were just like wide-eyed, like, I was
Literally
like, Brad,
the Britney-
excited to go back to New York. And you're like,
The 2012 Britney face of her walking down the red carpet like with no fucks and the sunglasses.
it is exactly that gif with the sunglasses off.
I believe it was the dryness of the air.
It was.
And the
Your
altitude.
vocals were dry.
My vocals were dry. That is the only time I've ever blacked out. And it was
Oh.
3 nights in a row in Vegas, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. I don't know that I went that hard on the drinking or what, but every time I went out, I don't exactly remember getting back.
Yeah.
Literally what happens in Vegas. It's such a stereotype.
It stayed in Vegas until this podcast.
Until this podcast,
But
clearly.
you know what? We survived and so did she.
So did she. Yeah, it's true. So thank you for rescuing me, it sounds like several times.
Oh, of course,
And-
anytime.
And Jordan did, I guess, as well. So,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah, as I was trying to make out with everyone.
I thought it was so fucking funny. I just like, thank God that anxiety has gone away.
Literally, how long was it? Like what?
Anything involving heights for like a good year
Yeah.
really just set me off.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this went deep.
It did. So that was Vegas.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. It was a blast.
Yeah, same.
But speaking of drag queens, actually, in Piece of Me, there was another artist that went to Vegas to go see Piece of Me.
That's right. We start to get celebrities doing freak show.
And going backstage.
And going backstage. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
I was going to wait for you to say it because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Stephanie Germanotta.
Yeah, there we go.
So a lucky fan from New York City, an Italian fan, gets picked to go backstage and meet Britney in a special meet and greet. Stephanie Germanotta is her name. And we get from that interaction the most unflattering photo of both of them, I think, that exists.
Yeah, but it's so iconic because they're
so iconic.
Drag queens.
They both look like flat out drag queens.
And it's amazing.
And it was a unifying moment for both standoms.
It sums up that year pretty well.
It does. It's just like drag. They came together and then had barbecue backstage.
And grits.
Grits and barbecue.
Oh my God. And then pretty much this year, I mean, we had a fan moment of our own. We got to do a review for Britney.com or BritneySpears.com.
Yes, we did a... Oh my God.
It's been deleted, I think.
It's been deleted.
It's not online anymore.
Well,
so like
it's not deleted. It's just that that
archived.
whole they were like archive this. No, that whole like transition from the BritneySpears.com website, like everything, like older posts, like all
took over.
Yeah, so all of that is like gone because they didn't transition it.
So you have to take our word for it.
You'll just have to take our word for it.
But we did it.
We did it.
We just gave you another review. So
yeah, so we had
it's pretty much been erased.
It was me, Kyle, and Jordan,
and
we did an interview with the artist formerly known as Britannica.
Yes,
and that was
with the real human behind Britannica.
The real human behind, and we did it via GChat. I believe.
Did. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but I'm not going to say anything. So.
Yeah, we won't reveal. You'll
know.
Never know.
I'll never tell.
Who's Britannica?
You'll have to wait and never see.
Wait and never see. However, I will say, so I'm dragged frequently on forums, and I often don't look. But
I want to keep looking because I keep getting called a fucking twink. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, those fucking twinks from the Britney podcast." I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so flattered."
This was one of my favorite drags came out of that review because we are asked what we wore to the concert. I pretentiously answered that I wore a tank top and layered that with a jacket. And I'll never forget, it was in Exhale. One of the commenters like quote tweeted that part of the interview. And they were like, "It's called wearing a jacket, not layering, you stupid fuck." They like dragged me saying I was layering it. It's like, you just wore a jacket, you idiot. Like,
well, I'm so glad that we're here and we can unpack this trauma. How did that make you feel?
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of taught me that I still don't know anything about fashion terms. And
looks a little peasanty.
They basically were like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I found that to be a skull drag that to remember.
You really have gotten dragged a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's why like I post 2014, like my standum level, it's never going to be like what it was in the 11 to 13 years where I was like so over the top and like annoying, because like anytime I happen to see a subtweet or something, it just destroys me. So I have to be stronger than yesterday, but
I enjoy it. Please keep calling me a twink.
I don't really feel like that's an insult.
Makes me feel skinny.
I feel like if people call me a twink, that wouldn't be the worst.
No, it's a youthful skinny legend. Please, I'll take that any day.
Yeah. No, I get more like, shut the fuck up. Momos with your 12 gay fans. That is a real drag too. We didn't just come up with that.
No, this is an actual drag.
That's because of Apple Pie, and a local dragged me and said I would not believe Moo-Moo's and whatever his name is and his 12 gay fans. It's now iconic.
Everyone now everyone knows you calls you Moo-Moo's now.
12 people, let's be clear. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, so that Britney review really taught me that wearing a jacket isn't layering.
Wow. Well, speaking of iconic drags, this year Miss Britney got cheated on, allegedly, by stocky top known as David, her boyfriend, and dragged him when her mic came on during Piece of Me.
Yes, in Piece of Me, you get 3 live mic moments. The beginning, where she says, wow, this theater's beautiful. It's Freak Show, when she asks your name, sweetie. And the ending, when she says, thank you. So,
Literally it.
luckily, when she did Freak Show, we got the most bitter knee that
she
we've
snapped.
ever had. She snapped.
Sassy knee jumped out.
We get 2 variations of it across 2 different nights. She's like hyping up with her girls, and she's like,
the best thing about your boyfriend cheating on you is that you get to go on another first date. OMG, the first date!
oh my God.
Oh my God, first date.
And that's like, that caused like headlines and scandal. And then she upped the ante.
Everybody knows that my boyfriend cheated on me. Boo, 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 yeah. But the best thing about your boyfriend cheating on you is that you get to have a one-night stand. Oh my God, a one-night.
Yeah, she popped off.
To need released.
She did. She called him out, ended his career, ended him, and he was nowhere to be found or heard from again.
Yeah, like
except
ever
he's
again.
Probably listening to this podcast.
Well, and this is the last time we're going to talk about him. So,
bye,
that
David.
happened. Yeah, see ya. Bye, sweetie.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks so much. You're amazing. Good luck with your tits.
Good luck with your stocky top tits.
Hot. My type.
Your type.
God. My kind. Dun,
Hillary.
dun, 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 dun. Oh, anyway. So this is the year where pretty much it's just Vegas in terms of appearances, but we do get a 0.5 second appearance this year in the Billboard Awards where she says, I'm such a huge fan of yours, in a J-Lo montage that's like recorded on an iPhone 2.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And also they do the thing that MTV and VMAs and a lot of award shows do, where they're like, a special appearance by Britney Spears.
Oh, it was not special.
Everyone's
It was not an
shaking.
appearance.
Everyone's like, here comes the medley. Here comes B9, B10.
Oh my God.
And it was her on an iPhone.
Yeah, she had no idea who she was.
That is a signature Britney thing. To hype something up for a day, week, year, and then be like, it's an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. So she doesn't really make any other appearances until later in the moments in the year.
Yeah.
But there was a moment that happened this year that to me stands out a lot in terms of like overarching Britney moments, celebrities sticking up for her, defending her.
Yeah.
When people make fun of Britney or like whatever, how do I feel about it? It like makes me mad because what am I trying to say here?
I don't know, but you're starting to cry.
I am not. My point is that no celebrities really talk shit about her.
No,
Ever.
that's like what
Like,
she's kind of known.
Right. She's always been
among
known
celebrities.
for being humble, easy to work with.
If
a
Mariah
sweetheart.
knows you, that's saying something.
That is very, and still compliments you
Still
to this day.
compliments.
She's been very highly regarded by the community.
Yes.
And Zoe Saldana from Crossroads shouts her out on Watch What Happens Live.
Have you seen Britney Spears' show in Vegas? And have you heard her single without auto-tune?
Have I heard one of her singles without?
They released a song recently without auto-tune.
Oh, okay. Well, that's mean because I'm pretty sure that 80% of our musical artists would be mortified
Right.
if they were caught singing without their own auto-tune.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her show in Vegas. I have a huge amount of respect for Britney Spears, and I've always said this, and I will always continue to say it. She was the one big celebrity that I met when I was starting to work in Hollywood, who literally was humble, and whatever was going on in her mind or in her world, it was never about hating her neighbor. She was the only pop star at that time, and I can name a lot of prominent figures right now that that today are more famous than Britney, that literally got to where they were at by hating on Britney a lot, because it was cool at one time to really just diss her, and Britney never did that. So still to this day, and yeah, she had the biggest fan base, and I do believe that people and children gravitate to good energy, and she's definitely in abundance of that.
Very good. I love that answer.
To me, kind of just like sums up kind of how we feel on this podcast.
Yeah, and she kind of represents, like she had the on-set experience with her, and she had nothing but glowing things to say, and has also vigorously defended her, as has Taryn Manning. Like they both were just like in the worst times still coming out strong for her.
Right. And wasn't she or was this the time of Avatar?
Yeah, I think so.
So she was like,
it might not have been, but regardless, there was something happening.
Right, like Zoe's big.
Yeah.
And for her to like come out and say this was like huge. And she was being very serious about it.
She was. I think we definitely stan Zoe. I mean, I feel like a lot of celebrities get kind of defensive in the way that we do, because it's like they want the soundbite, they want the drag, and only a few times Adrienne Bailon has somebody like given
a negative,
but I think there's a protectiveness with a lot of celebrities, like us in this podcast,
right?
Which we sometimes dance around things,
right? Like, oh, her mic was only on 3 times during Vegas.
Slay,
we
iconic.
Stan Queen of Pop. Don't ever talk shit about Britney Spears ever.
A vocalist,
yeah. So that pretty much sums up that section of this year.
Yeah,
but then we get a little bit of like musical rumblings and some product knee moments. So speaking of music, It Should Be Easy, which
it should be.
Well, it should not be.
That single
was threatened as the 3rd single off Britney Jean.
Yeah. There was this weird, confusing moment where they started to upload songs from Britney Jean onto her YouTube, and It Should Be Easy was one of them.
Now That I Found You got uploaded.
Now That I Found You.
I was shaking because I was like,
yes,
maybe that'll be it.
And then they instead service like several remixes of Dick Dick Boom, which no one's here for.
No,
I mean,
luckily none of this went anywhere. So
no, this was purely 3 people on forums know that any of this was even happening.
Right.
Yeah, the remixes came out. It Should Be Easy threatened as a single, and nothing really happens, and everyone forgets about it.
Until this podcast.
Until we dug up the controversy of Britney Jean, which people like didn't even know there was a vocal controversy. We're like, oh, sorry.
But now everyone sees it.
Yeah.
And hears it.
Yeah.
I feel like after that episode of getting that thought that I've kept private for so long out in the public, now I feel like I can listen to Britney Jean and enjoy it with humor and fun.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Like I kind of went back and listened to it and I enjoyed it because I was like, okay, now this is off my chest and now people kind of know how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to
bop to it.
Like, I'm always going to feel a way about it, but it's getting to the point where it's funny.
Right. Like to stan, you have to let go.
You really do.
I like that quote that you said.
Yeah. You
really do.
You really do. So to stan, you have to let someone else sing the songs.
Speaking of letting things go, luckily her team let go the idea of having a 3rd single from Britney Jean because it just died.
It just dies. And then she immediately starts... Well, actually, right before this, also just a little nerd note, the Dev Hynes demo that he was trying to get on to Britney Jean leaks, and it's like a very left of center, weird, vibey, blood orange kind of song. It's like a very rough demo, but that's just like further proof that there was an attempt that just didn't happen. And then it's just poetic in some ways. We get a song on RuPaul's album in 2014 called Adrenaline.
So after this whole like Maya moment that we talked about in the last episode, which at the time I don't feel like I talked about this song in 2014 like ringing alarm bells for me. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but like now we want to bring it out, we're going to bring it out. So there's a song on RuPaul's album called Adrenaline with Maya, and it sounds exactly like Body Ache, Tick Tick Boom. Like it literally could be on Britney Jean and flow perfectly. If you're pondering the thought about the things we talked about in the last episode, go to Spotify, press play on the song, and then go listen to Body Ache. And then tweet us.
It's a fun
Britney
song.
Podcast. It is. It could easily be a Britney song.
Yeah. Adrenaline's good. Again, just to like reiterate, we feel no ill will towards Maya. I really like Maya and have had conversations with her, and like she's a good person, and we don't like, there was as I said, there was like a little backlash at the beginning about like, how dare you, but it's like she was doing her job just as she did on Circus and Femme Fatale, so like you're gonna have to dial that back way down. So she happens to get a feature on RuPaul's album and is a fun bop. So if you want to listen to that, go listen to that and tell us what you think about the vocals.
That pretty much sums up any musical moments. But then the conservative mommy businesswoman jumps out this year because she's expanding her perfume empire and moving into intimates.
Something more intimate?
That's
right.
Intimate Britney Spears collection.
The Britney Spears brand, the empire, expands into lingerie, pajama wear, and just general comfy clothes. Sweatpants, which I own.
You do.
I do. First impressions of the line. The lines, really. There were several collections.
Well, I don't wear women's clothes, so like I can't speak to that.
Well,
I'm just saying. But first impressions, I will say, I felt like this was high end for Britney. It looked expensive. The logo is amazing.
Yeah.
The branding is amazing. The videos were done really well. The commercials, I loved how they did all these different like poems. The visuals were great. The photos were great. I thought the collection looked good. I didn't wear any of it, so like I don't know if like the fabrics were like,
I can attest,
pieces were made well, or like if they're comfortable or whatever.
I can attest that the sweatpants remain comfortable years later.
Yeah. But like I thought overall, because I mean, for Britney, it's like, you know, fantasy stage twist remixed 14,000 times, Maui fantasy femme fatale bed photo. This to me felt like chic and classy for her.
It definitely did. I think it was an attempt to make Britney Spears a brand, like even more.
I felt like they were mature. This felt mature for her.
It did.
Like taking it out of like younger and then marketing towards the youthful professional woman.
Yes. And she said that it was a passion project of hers for a year or 2 years, allegedly, that she had been working on. This was her baby. I thought it looked really nice. Again, I'm not a fashion expert. I don't know what layering is.
I know, I just wear black t-shirts and black pants, so
yeah, us talking about fashion is
no.
But I will say that I thought that the rollout was really nice, and there was a lot of promo. Some of the pictures were a bit Photoshop-y for me, as far as like...
Yeah, the one, which I don't know if it was the first line or whatever line it was, where there's a vine wall, like the wall of vines. You can see where like they clearly Photoshopped something out of the vine wall, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
The photo where she's in the bikini in the pool.
Yeah, that's good.
Fierce.
Yeah. It was a great project, side project, creative project. The problem was that it lasted probably 3 months in total, and then it ended abruptly. There was a presentation to kick off the Intimate Britney Spears that I was in attendance for at the New York Public Library.
Oh, that's right. See, this to me was like rich.
Yeah.
For Britney.
Yeah, it was. It was super classy.
Because at this point, the last product she had done is like the perfumes.
Yeah.
And I mean, aside from the Twist commercial, which we
stand, but like it's still all perfume. So this was like an entirely different genre. So I'm at the Intimate Britney Spears launch. I am dressed awfully at this event. I'm serving full Jewish nerd fantasy, and I'm overwhelmed. I ask the staff if I can take things. They say no. There's like there's like cutouts of her and shit, and I'm just like eyeing
Trying to
things like a
steal them.
stan while there's like actual fashion people there, or like whatever, buyers for things. There's like a little water and a chocolate on the seat, and then this fanciful music. It's like electronic-ish music or whatever. And one by one, these like models come out on stage and they're like posing. And then finally she comes out looking ravishing in red.
That was a good jumpsuit.
That was a really good,
Like a really
professional,
good jumpsuit.
conservative mommy knee, conservative knee jumpsuit.
I don't even
knee.
think it was conservative.
Maybe not.
Which, by the way, I love. I can't stop saying that now.
Well,
conservative
you're
mommy is
welcome.
my new favorite thing.
That is you.
Yeah. Like conservative mommy is the new Bobby.
That's true.
Yeah. Like the tits were showing. She got a fierce jumpsuit. Like this to me was.
True. She was running for election of some sort.
This was modern, mature woman.
Okay.
For her.
Yeah, it was. It looked really good, and obviously I was dying. And I'm like inside being like, oh my God, sing Breathe on me. But she just like stepped out and said, I think like 3 sentences, you know, and then like walked away. And so that was live vocals, and we stan. Yeah, it was bizarre to see her in that light businesswoman knee. But yeah.
She loves playing a character.
She does. I'm sure she was like, I'm going to be the Versace of bras. So she presented that in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes on a global tour of this thing. She goes to various countries. I think she hits London first.
Yeah, she went a couple places.
Yeah, she does London. Then she goes over to Poland. She goes to Germany. She goes. Denmark one was crazy. Denmark was like a giant concert, huge arena, and she's like walks out and is like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
and then leaves. Throughout all of this, she has to do so much promo and interviews like crazy, and she is actually delivering really good interviews.
She is.
She's being a feminist. You know, women of all sizes can wear this, and I wanted to make sure everyone can wear this. And she jumps out with her feminist knee moment and says,
what kind of message do you want to send with this brand of underwear?
I would like to send for women just to feel more confident and to be more loving to themselves. I don't think you need a man in this world anymore. I think you just need yourself and a little love and a bath. And that's what this lingerie is all about.
Wow.
I mean,
felt that.
Gloria Steinem's shaking. During this time, they also ask her about music because it's been a minute since Britney Jean and nobody heard it. So they were like, when's music coming out?
Yeah, it was like also, it was a weird that she was like doing Intimates and Piece of Me in Vegas at the same time. So yeah.
Completely. So they're like, hey, what's coming up? And she describes the upcoming album, which we would come to know as Glory, although this was still the first album before Glory she was working on. That was like the Pretty Girls sessions.
Right.
She was describing these sessions as artsy fartsy.
I want to do something very artsy fartsy. Something I've never done before. I even have like, if it's just you know, go take a left lane and go into a little bit of rock or rock pop, you know, just do something really kind of out there and different.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's teasing something that sounds like an experimental rock album is coming. Instead, we get Pretty Girls.
Yeah.
So she was right.
I thought overall, the Intimates, which also have a moment in Nicki Minaj where it's like, Brinteresting, Brintimate, really cool. Overall, I thought it was a good move for her.
I think it was a good move for her. I'm just upset that it lasted literally 3 months. Like,
yeah,
they do the launch and then immediately the site like basically gets canceled, and then it gets like liquidated out into other websites, and it's just gone. And
doesn't that happen though with fashion?
I literally don't know, but I just felt like it was a little sudden to be like closing up shop. But I genuinely don't know.
Like, because it wasn't merch. It was like, it was just one, like for Kohl's. She did those Kohl's lines.
Yeah.
It was like available for 3 months and then gone.
True. But like it was successful. They had her back for a second round. So that's why I don't know. I mean, I don't think it wasn't successful because, you know, I was disappointed for her because I felt like if we were to believe that this was like really a passion project for her for a while, it's like
maybe it could have continued as an online exclusive.
Yeah, I kind of liked that because I just felt like we were bombarded with so much. We haven't even really talked about the ads. They grew more insane as time went on with the poeticness. She was just fully saying words that had no meaning together.
Anemone.
I am the dramatic beauty of a city at night. Moonlight silhouettes the curves of my body and the sharp lines of thin black strings that keep the dash of daring mesh and scalloped edges where they belong. What I wear when the sky is silky black and tomorrow is a promise waiting to be kept. The intimate Britney Spears collection, inspired by silk silhouettes and promises.
They're so dramatic. And
they're so dramatic, and they're literally just adjectives that don't go anywhere. They did absolutely get more insane, but I'm happy she got to do it, and I'm happy I got to see her in such a weird, unconventional, in a fashion show.
There's a really good Vine that I think Jay Moore made
of her coming out
to Slumber Party.
That happened years
he remade it later. Years later, and she walks out, and then she goes and takes the mic, and it's like, I think I see him, and just cuts off. Remember that one?
That's so good. Yes.
And then isn't the only product moment that she has, because we get another fantasy, because every month has one.
Every stage has one. Yes. Fantasy Stage Edition drops, and I don't think this gets anything, does it?
I don't even know at this point. I mean, we've dated this podcast already because there's already been new ones.
Yeah, by the time you hear this podcast, there will have already been another one announced. Rainbow Fantasy, old.
Yeah. So that kind of wraps up the bulk of the year.
Yeah.
However, there is something that starts this year.
There's something brewing on the internet.
There is. Someone's been logging in.
Someone got access to her account.
She did. And this is something that will only get more and more and more and more Brinteresting and Brintimate as the years go on. But Britney gets her login for Instagram in 2014.
She sure does, or at least is submitting it to someone who is uploading some very personal footage.
Literally.
But actually personal. I believe the first thing that we ever get that's like, what the fuck?
I think, yeah.
Is she's out strolling with her puppies, turns around and says, I'm bored. Bye.
Yeah.
This immediately, of course, goes to Brazil, becomes a remix.
Yeah. Doesn't she like, the boys are ahead of me, they're running.
The boys are ahead of me, they're running.
I'm bored.
Woof, I'm bored. And then we later get her at the skate park and her screaming, just do it, baby, just do it. And that becomes Just Do It, I'm Bored, the remix.
Yes. There is...
There's a club, I have played this at Britney nights before.
Oh, yeah.
Just do it, baby, just do it.
Britney Jean did not get a third single. However, we did get a single this year.
And it was her most personal.
I'm Bored, Just Do It.
Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it.
I'm bored. Boys are running, they're ahead of me. Being ferocious, I'm bored. Boys are running, they're ahead of me. Being ferocious, I'm bored, bored, I'm bored.
Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it, baby, just do it. Just do it.
I'm bored. Bye.
And it's a bop.
It really is.
It goes off. I mean, I remember...
It's like the Break the Ice Birds.
I remember when people... I fucking hate her fans. When she was at the skate park and she screamed, just do it. The fans were like, oh my God, vocals. That's why it was remixed. Everyone was like, oh my God, vocals to like...
literally live vocals that they can remix.
So we took those and ran with it. Then she gives us a very left lane impression of Woody Woodpecker.
This is my impression of a Woody Woodpecker.
Oh my God, you can do it too.
Wow, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm an artist.
So we get that. And then finally we get a very amazing meme / gif of her fucklessly riding away in a scooter.
Oh my God, that one is so good.
It's really good. That's like her running away from domination.
Right.
It's
like
just
that probably was going to be a domination prop.
That
and tour outfit.
Oh, you say it now, but it was. Yeah, so we get the emancipation of Instagram-ny in 2014, and it only gets better. But this is like the first, more personal.
It's also a song.
It keeps.
But.
Yep.
Oh, no, not that. How dare you bring up Christina Aguilera when talking about Better off of Glory.
Oh.
The conservative Britney stan just jumped out.
Yeah, you're right.
I was going to say, so much better. Not keeps getting
better.
Yeah.
Well, I think both apply in this situation.
True.
In any case, yeah. So we have only ups, I would say, this year. I feel like we get the confidence back in Vegas as far as fans of being like, she's back in a good place. We get, okay, she's expanding the brand. And then we get, she's getting more personal in an honest way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was a win all around for us in 2014.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking of Pretty Girls. But like, you know.
Well, that's 2015.
I know, but it's like.
It's looming. You feel it.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be quite an episode as we dive into my unreleased documentary series.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And Pretty Girls, which happened at the exact same time.
We get remixed, reimagined, still iconic. Brad filmed a top secret documentary and is going to blow the lid off of all of that and expose everything.
Yeah.
Just like I exposed him in this episode.
He sure did. Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
All around the world, Pretty Girls.
All around the world, somewhat
wiping
girls.
The floor with boys and somewhat girls. Wow.
With Igloo Azalea.
I like Iggy.
I like Iggy too.
We'll get there.
I also
have some
got
stories about her, I can tell you.
I got into a Twitter fight with Iggy at this time.
Was it about the Pizza Hut thing?
No, I was not involved in that. I literally, Britney is the reason I got in a fight with Iggy Azalea.
Igloo Azalea. Who called her Igloo again?
Me, but also a lot of. I think Azalea Banks started it, but anyway, 2014. I go to, and I believe it's this year, Iggy's album drops, and I go to the album release party, and I meet Iggy, and it's a lovely time, and...
Oh my God, she's like 3 times your height.
Well, the picture is hilarious of us together.
Yeah.
Like, it's fully just me and, like...
Right,
yeah.
you were probably like staring at her knee.
I was literally looking at Iggy. And I go home, and I tweet, like, a positive review of the album, and somebody... replies and they were like, what does it sound like, or something to that effect, and I replied, not tweeting her but replying to this fan being like, it sounds like she's trying to be Keisha or something, with a gif of Britney saying it. Iggy quote RTs me and it says, Bradley, I thought we had a very nice time at the album release party. I find this very rude that you would do this and say this to me. And Tyler Oakley jumps in and he's like, he didn't mean it. It was a Britney inside joke.
Right.
Like, and then she eventually deleted, I guess, when she saw it. But like, this also began Iggy having way too much time and like replying to every fan tweet, which relatable because I also am like haunted by stans dragging me. But like, but yeah, she fully dragged me for. And I honestly did it completely as a Britney stan inside joke. I had nothing bad to say.
Wow.
So I ended my relationship with Igloo Azalea at that moment. I like Iggy. I do.
Yeah, I shade her in Pretty Girls, but
yeah.
I now, since with meeting her at Watch What Happens Live, I'm like obsessed.
Yeah, she's got actually a really good sense of humor.
She's
but I
so
think
fucking funny.
She...
It took time to get there.
It's
and kind of like with Moo Moo's a couple years ago, you were traumatized, and now it's iconic.
And now it's funny, but like it actually is, and I think that's like it speaks to stan culture in general. Like there was a time where everyone was really, not that we aren't now, but like really vicious to each other. Nobody really understood how to process seeing all of this hate thrown at you, or like
especially when it's typed out on Twitter. It's hard to read,
and it's not like I'm innocent. Like my fucking website, I'm like being shady about everybody in a funny way, but like, you know,
it's hard to read people's tone on Twitter. So everything can come across as mean.
Yeah.
Which is why I like doing a podcast, because you guys can tell when I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can tell when I'm being sarcastic.
You can. Yeah. It is helpful.
You can tell when I'm getting mad about defending myself.
Yeah, boxer in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is helpful. And I feel like it has helped people maybe see where I'm coming from and understand that I didn't know about layering, or that that I took myself too seriously at that time and still do. Yeah, it's been very therapeutic. And now that you've exposed me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why not? You're a mom. You are a performer. You are a writer. You are Moo-Moos. You are a friend. You are Bradley Jean.
Bradley Jean, yes. And my initials are going to come into play in 2015 as well.
Oh, so good.
Oh, there's so much. You'll just have to wait and see.
You will have to wait and see. But before we tell them to wait and see, we need to pick a knee for 2014.
What's the knee of 2014?
Mine's boring. I'm going to say Vegas knee.
Okay.
Because it's like all that there was.
I mean, it really kind of did define the era for us and for her.
It's defined the past 80 years.
It's defined many years.
And more to come.
Yeah.
It could possibly go down in history as the final swan song, if you will.
It certainly could. I would say maybe... Oh.
Hubert knee.
I mean, I was gonna say amnesia because I didn't know where I was for part of but I will just go with intimate knee because there's layers to it. Not only the intimate collection, but because we got our closest show with her ever, I think. And then
really intimate.
Really intimate.
Yeah.
And then we got, I think distance-wise, it was our closest.
Oh, right. Okay, I thought you were like, I was like, how is that intimate?
No. I mean, I think we were the closest we've ever been to her performing-wise. So it was intimate knee for us. We also get the first glimpse of her actual personality on social media. That is a little more intimate. So I'll go with intimate knee.
What a moment.
What a moment. A moment that is most pleasing in my career.
Defined, because I feel like with friends, you really get to know a person when you travel with a person, and that can make or break a friendship.
Sure could. Yeah, that was a very defining trip for us.
And I feel like from then on, I'm like, oh, I can travel with Brad. It's
which you would think after that experience you would never travel with me again. But
no,
it was. Well, obviously, then you got yours when we went to Asbury.
When we went to Asbury Park. Oh my God,
we had a reverse Warholian experience of that. But yeah, it's a moment that I will almost remember for all that I
a walk to almost never remember.
The zombie walk through the strip that I remember.
Well,
Nothing
you know
else.
what? That's what happens there.
Yeah.
So you're not alone, not alone, not alone.
No, I was not alone. So I guess we'll have to once again see you in Vegas in 2015 and for the rest of our lives next week when we take you behind the scenes, quite literally.
Yep, and we get remixed, reimagined, and still in Vegas.
Still in Vegas until the end of time.
See you soon.
See you soon.